Alright, so this is just a quick update video following the track day. No, it looks bad, but it's just a clutch change. As you know from the last video, went to the track, made a couple of passes, and the clutch gave out on me after the second pass. Just wouldn't hold any power, so here we are again with the transmission pulled. You can see the flywheel. You can see the flywheel's not looking too hot there. Well, actually, it's looking very hot. Puns. So that's the flywheel. Yeah, if you can really get in there and see it's got some hot spots on it. So I'm just gonna replace the flywheel. And we have, this is the clutch disc. It's a metallic ceramic or copper ceramic, whatever it's called, clutch disc, 6-puck, unsprung. You can really it's hard to see with the, it's kind of hard to see with the glare, but, alright, so yeah, it's kind of hard, but you can definitely see it's glazed over, it's melted. I mean, the material's just straight up melted. Some of it is on the pressure plate, some of it is stuck to the flywheel. Yeah, a really bad situation there. Where's the pressure plate? Pressure plate's right there. We go. Yeah, the whole garage is a mess just because I just kind of pulled all the stuff apart, and I need to clean up before I put it back together, obviously. But yeah, pressure plate, you can see it's really weird. There's these distinct hot spots on it. So yeah, you can kind of see here where there's a hot spot, and then here where there's a hot spot, and then here where there's a hot spot. So yeah, I'm not sure what caused that. I mean, I would guess probably high spots in the pressure plate. You know, I don't know. I don't know why there would be, I mean, probably raised areas on the pressure plate or raised areas on the flywheel, one or the other. Actually, I can actually feel, yeah. So, definitely got super hot. Definitely, is that oil? I wonder if I had oil on the clutch. Maybe that was it. It doesn't look like oil contamination, but I guess it's possible that there's oil. There's definitely remnants of what looks like oil, you know, so I don't know if it's from the transmission. The transmission has all new seals, or if it's from the main seal on the engine. But I'll know when I pull the flywheel off. I'll be able to tell if the main seal's leaking. So the clutch that I'm going with, it is a Clutchmaster's FX 400. Same kind of design, sprung hub, as opposed to the what do you call it? You know, the solid disc. It's a little safer for the transmission, a little safer for the engine. So yeah, this is also from Carlos. He had this sitting around. It was a spare. It's brand new, fresh out of the box. Gave me a pretty decent deal on it. So that's what's going into the car. No more eBay junk. So yeah, the nice thing about going with a nice name brand clutch is that this is actually SFI spec'd. Most tracks require you to run specific flywheels or specific clutches that are certified to be able to withstand certain conditions. So if you run past, I think it's like 11.5 or something like that, they want you to have a SFI spec 1 point something. Actually, it says on there, yeah, spec 1.1 flywheel, clutch, or flex plate and torque converter, all that stuff, you know. So it's good to have actual stuff that's certified. I mean, when you buy stuff, when you have a $550 clutch versus an eBay $99 clutch, you know, that's what you're paying for. You're paying for that certification. You're paying for the warranty. You're paying for all that good stuff. You're paying for the peace of mind, you know, so yeah, Clutchmaster FX 400 sprung 6-puck. That's what's going into the car. Carlos says that he's ran these clutches up to 600 horse, no problem. So hopefully that works out for me. This is the transmission I took out of the car. I was having some shifting issues. I was having issues getting into second and fourth gear. Turns out what happened when me and Greg put the transmission back together, we forgot the fifth gear upper synchro. Yeah, we just like completely left. We left this guy out like entirely, and so that allowed this collar to move up and push the. There's a little ring that holds a couple of clips in place here. That ring, that retaining clip popped out, and so did the one that's on the bottom of this hub, and it got grinded up inside the fifth gear housing on the transmission. Part of it went up under the gear, so this is all kind of chewed up a little bit. I think I can kind of machine, or not really machine, but I can probably just knock that down, sand it down, and it should be fine. You can also see here where the ring grooved in. The problem I had with shifting, this is the remnants of the ring, just these little pieces here. So the problem that I had with shifting had to do with here. The shift fork, or the shift forks here, they ride on this shaft. If I can focus, there we go. They ride on the shaft. This shaft, the top of this shaft, comes out right there. So with these rings floating around in there, they had gotten bound up on the shaft, and you can actually see some of, well, maybe you can if it focuses. There you go. You can see some scuffing and some damage there. So what I'm thinking is happening, or what happened was those rings were preventing this rod from moving up inside the fifth gear housing, and that's what was blocking me from getting into. That's why it was only in second and fourth gear, because second and fourth gear that rod moves up. First, third, and reverse, that rod's down. There's a few times where it felt like it got stuck in those gears, and I'm thinking maybe it just got bound up, because it would feel like it got stuck, but it didn't feel as bad as it did when I got locked out. So yeah, pay close attention to when you put stuff like this back together. So I'm waiting on some parts. The only parts I'm waiting on are these rings, so I can put the fifth gear assembly back together. I'm going to put this back in the car and run it till it breaks, because I want to get some seat time on, a transmission that I'm not very fond of. I want to get some seat time on a transmission that, if it breaks, I'm not going to cry about it. So, like I said, I got this transmission. I have another G-Series transmission that's stock. And then I have this G-Series, which is slightly built. So this one has the fifth gear plate, and it also has a M-Factory limited slip differential and a welded bell housing. So this one, fucking mosquitoes. This one should be pretty solid. But I'm gonna wait to put this in. Like I said, I just want to get some seat time and learn what to do and what not to do before I put that into its home. Plus, I'm having trouble locating a 28 spline jack shaft. And the jack shaft is this guy here. So having trouble finding that. Can't find it anywhere. It's a Kia part. It's discontinued. I tried a couple of dealerships. I actually found a dealership that had it listed on their website. I ordered it, and then they canceled the order because they were like, it's discontinued. We don't have it. So yeah, once I find a 28 spline jack shaft, then I'll get that in the car. It'd be nice to have a limited slip. It'll help a lot on the street. But for now, what I'm going to do is go ahead and pull this flywheel off and take a look at the main seal. I was afraid of that. Yeah, those things are torqued down to a pretty good number. Use thread locker on these too, so I guess that would also kind of yeah, it's definitely got some oil there. Alright, so yeah, here's the XTD lightweight flywheel. Yeah, you can see there's not a whole lot of mass on there. I have a kind of a suspicion that might be one of the reasons for the heat, you know. Not a lot of mass, it can't really dissipate a lot of heat. You know, versus the stock flywheel, it obviously has a lot more meat on it. You know, this thing's pretty nice and hefty, so of course something gets stuck up under it. Why wouldn't something get stuck up under it? So yeah, just gotta figure out where that oil's coming from. It looks like it's coming from the main seal. It's really shitty. But we'll figure it out. Alright guys, till next time.